أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome everybody to Wednesday's class. Right then, so Tashdeed. What is Tashdeed? What does Tashdeed do? Why do you press on Tashdeed? Steps to read Tashdeed and Tashdeed, 5 easy steps. Let's work our way through all of these little chapters that we're going to go through. So let's ask ourselves, what is Tashdeed? Tashdeed is also known as a shadda. And we're going to learn about shadda by looking at this word that's popped up on our screen. And we're going to focus on this little bit here with the red gene. Now a shadda looks like this W sign, okay? It looks like a W and we're pointing to it there. It sits on top of a letter like it's doing there. A mushaddad letter is a letter that carries a shadda. So this is a mushaddad gene because it's a gene that carries a shadda. Okay, so that's what tashdeed is. Let's ask ourselves the question, what does tashdeed do? So, shadda or tashdeed, okay, they mean the same thing, causes joining of letters. So you can ask yourselves the question, well, what exactly are we going to join? A mushaddad letter, a letter that carries a tashdeed, joins to the most recent vowelled letter. So let's remind ourselves, a mushaddad letter is a letter that carries a shadda. This is a mushaddad gene. A mushaddad gene, like all mushaddad letters, will join to the most recent vowelled letter. So let's find out what a vowelled letter is. A vowel letter is a letter that carries a vowel, a stroke. So here we have a vowel seen. And as the rule at the bottom says, a mushaddad letter joins to the most recent vowel letter. The mushaddad gene is going to join to the vowel seen. As simple as that. You find the mushaddad letter and you find the vowel letter that's nearest to it and you join them. The important thing is that you've got to make sure that you sound the mushaddad letter and the vowel letter. You mustn't skip through those letters, okay? And when we read this, we will read this as suj. Okay, we have to make the two sounds, the seen and the jim. Sujirat. And you have to make sure that you emphasize, you press down on the mushaddad letter. Don't rush through it. Listen again. Sujirat. You have to press down on a mushaddad letter. So let's ask ourselves the question, why do you press on tashdeed? And let's ask ourselves the question, first of all, what the difference between sakin letters and mushaddad letters is. And we'll look at that example there. Now, if we rewrite what's in that blue circle, in that box, we've got the seen, the vowel seen, and the jim, the mushaddad jim. In Arabic, instead of writing the same letter twice in succession, which means one after another, it is written once and a shadda placed on top. So this here is actually this, a seen, a vowel seen with a sakin jim and a jim with a kasra. What's inside of that blue outline box is actually in practice what you see there on the right hand side. When you see a mushaddad letter, you have to remember that there's actually two of those letters there. So here, there's actually two jims. Even though you don't see them, but the tashdeed, the shadda, is telling you that there's two. And you need to press down on mushaddad letters because there's actually two of the same letter underneath the shadda. Okay? And that's why we press down, because even though you can't see them, there are actually two letters there. So, steps to read Tashdeed. Tashdeed is not a difficult thing to do, and if you follow some easy steps, it becomes very simple. And we will learn by practicing with this word and focusing on this particular part where there is a shadda. So we write it down here, and we first of all, we identify the mushaddad letter, which is this one here. It's a dal, and it's mushaddad because it carries the tashdeed. The second step is to identify the most recent vowel letter, and it happens to be that ba with the fatha. The third step is you simply join the two letters together. But because it's an easy step-by-step way that we're teaching you, simply join the two letters together, but ignore the stroke that was on the mushaddad letter. So ignore the kasra that happened to be there. So you join them. Bad, bad. Okay? Now, the next step, step number 4, is to look at the stroke on the mushaddad letter and make the right sound. So the dal was carrying a kasra, so we say di, for one count. Okay? And then step number 5 is you put everything together. And you have to remember, you emphasize the mushaddad letter because there's actually 2 of those letters there. So when we read that, we say baddi. Press down on the dal. Baddi. Okay, so let's go to something nice and colorful that might help us to remember. Step number 1, whenever you see Tashdeed, step number 1 is you have to identify what is the mushaddad letter. The next step is you have to identify what is the vowelled letter. And the third step is you have to join the mushaddad and the vowelled letter. Make it easy by ignoring the stroke on the mushaddad letter in this stage. In the next step, look at the stroke. Look at the stroke on the mushaddad letter and make the right sound. And step number 5 is you then combine. You do look at all of those things and put them together. And remember, you must press down on the mushaddad letter. And those are the 5 simple, easy steps that you need to follow with Tashdeed.